And joining me right now here on the Mark Moses Show to break down what happened last night there in Tampa as the Florida Gators are knocked out of the NCAA tournament is my great friend who covers the Gators, John Frary with Sports Now up there in Jacksonville. John, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing good. Could be better, Mark. Florida Gator fans, not orange, just blue today, unfortunately. An early exit from the NCAA tournament last night. One that I think was a microcosm of their season, and a lot of credit to Iowa, who I think was the better team for the majority of the night, even though Florida had their chances late to pull that game out. But a sad ending to a great season, one that wound up 27-8 with a regular season SEC title, but ended way too short for a team that had aspirations to go back-to-back, but it's pretty tough to do that. So it's going to be remembered for one, I think, with missed opportunities more than what they accomplished, unfortunately.
All right, let's go over the sequence there with 10 seconds to go. The Gators are up 2, and they give the ball back to Iowa. I hated that coach called a timeout. Don't let Iowa set up a play full court. I would have just hey, let them go. Let them come up with a crazy play. I want to start with that play first, where Iowa goes down the court, hits the three-pointer to take the lead. I hated that sequence for the Gators, and especially calling the timeout. What were your thoughts?
I did too. More the strategy than the timeout, though, for me, Mark. And in the post-game press conference, Todd Golden, and I thought it was bizarre, said that the strategy was to foul and that Iowa got away. B.J. Sturts specifically got away from Boogie Flan. But my question would be, you're ahead 72-70 at that point. I don't think the strategy should be to foul. I think the strategy should be stay in front of them, make them use as much time as possible, and just do not allow a three if Iowa were to score. Or make 2 free throws. If you did foul them, worst case scenario, it's overtime. So I didn't get that strategy from Todd Golden to begin with. The timeout started it, then the actual strategy. It was just a bad defensive scheme, in my opinion.
It was awful. And look, you're right. Give credit to Iowa. They brought it for 40 minutes. And then the final play, 4 seconds to go, I get it's beyond hard if you played basketball before. But the Gators didn't get up a shot. Let me tell you something. Walter Clayton Jr. would have gotten a shot up. And I think that's the difference between last year's team and this year's team. What was your breakdown of the final play?
You just took the words out of my mouth. That was exactly the difference between this year's team and last year's team. If Walter Clayton is your point guard, you're absolutely right. He's getting a shot up. And nothing against Xavier Lee, but you can't just dribble the ball down the court and have the clock run out. I mean, you've got to pull up and shoot. And that was a head-scratcher, too. The final 8+ seconds of that game, between the defensive breakdowns and then not even getting a shot off, and I think if he just takes it to the basket, Mark, because he got down the court, Xavier Lee, and he got to the rim.
Yeah.
I think he throws that would have won the game. But you've at least got to make them block that shot or stop you. You can't just go underneath the basket and run out of time. So, and he's a senior, not to pick on Lee, but that's just inexplicable what he was thinking or doing there. And again, it's easy to say watching from, your chair in your living room, but that was a head scratcher too. The final 8+ seconds of that game, that's what I meant by it was kind of a microcosm of Florida's season. There were moments where they were great and they had a 12-game winning streak, but then there were moments specifically in the guard play where they couldn't hit shots, they made too many turnovers, and they just didn't make the right decisions, which with Walter Clayton and Will Richard and Martin last year didn't happen. And that was really the biggest difference from this year's team to last year's, is you just didn't have that championship caliber guard play. And
dude, I'm with you. I get what he was trying to do, but you needed more time to do that execution. He's trying to get three guys to converge on him, which he did, and then he's trying to do a pass to Cognan down low. But again, you had 4 seconds. There wasn't enough time. I get it. It's a brain fart. Season's over. And look, I told you this off air. I'll say it to you again right now. I'm not shocked they lost. I'm not. I like this team. I didn't love this team. And when they lost to Vandy in the SEC tournament, I really didn't have high hopes for this team. Did your gut I know it's in hindsight, but did your gut kind of feel like, yeah, maybe this team's not good enough to win a national title?
My gut was, the difference is I'm shocked it was Iowa and it was in Tampa where it ended. I thought it was going to end in Houston next weekend, Mark, against Houston. I didn't think Iowa would be athletic enough or physical enough to beat Florida, and that's why I give them all the credit in the world, because in the first half, Iowa had more points in the paint than Florida, 18-12. I would have never thought that. And Ruben Chinyelu was invisible last night. The defensive player of the year in the SEC had 1 rebound and 0 points. Now, granted, he was in foul trouble for a good portion of the night, but 1 rebound and 0 points, I would have never believed that, and especially against Iowa. So that's why I am in shock today that it happened there. Now, if it had been against Houston or Michigan or Duke, I would not have been, because in the he's going to get this team in my mind, and I did not expect them to go back to the Final Four, but I thought they would get out of Tampa and be in the 16 or Elite 8. So I am surprised, somewhat shocked it was Iowa. Again, I just got to give the kids from Iowa and their coach all the props in the world. They honestly were the better team last night.
There were points in that game also. All right, they're down 10, 12 points, which was shocking early second half. The Gators pull even, then they take a lead. You know, maybe they're up 4 or 5 points, and then it just felt like they could not pull away. Was that also the difference in the loss last night for Florida?
Absolutely. They could never put the dagger in Iowa. To Iowa's credit, they kept hanging around. They kept clawing, even when Florida finally did get the lead. And Florida overcame a 12-point deficit in the second half. It was 51-39 at one point. So give Florida credit for they don't have the closers this year. Like you mentioned, Walter Clayton or Will Richard, they just don't have those closers that they had last year. Last year's team wins that game. There's no doubt in my mind. This year's team, they find ways to lose late than closing them out. And that was the issues they had during the regular season. And a lot of what happened back in November and December popped up again last night. This season kind of came full circle where Florida struggled early. Then they found something in the middle, but then a lot of the issues that were at the beginning of the season with the backcourt and turnovers popped up again late. The SEC basketball tournament and then the finale last night in Tampa against Iowa.
I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of don't care about the rest of the tournament. I will watch, but I don't have a horse in the race, and I don't need to stay up till 12:30 in the morning now on Thursday. How do you feel today?
I feel the same way, and I'll tell you, I think CBS and the NCAA have done an injustice the way they're running this tournament, because Florida was a 1 seed. Their start times for this was 9:45 on a Friday night, and on a Sunday in Tampa on the East Coast, that game didn't start till after 7 o'clock. And they were a 1 seed. And normally you're putting your 1 seeds on during the peak of TV, and not just the Florida situation, but these games run too late at night, Mark. I mean, Alabama game didn't start till after 10 o'clock last night, and it's just ridiculous on a Sunday night. It's ridiculous in my mind what they're doing. I know it's done for advertisers and for ratings, but I just can't believe there's a lot of people watching at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night on the East Coast when you got to go to work. So that's something I think they need to address moving forward.
Yeah, I saw that the The Houston-Illinois game is going to be Thursday night starting after 10 o'clock at night. That's a big game. No, we have to make sure West Coast viewers, they're getting accommodated for. Even though, I don't know if you saw this stat, no one west of the Mississippi has won the tournament in 25 years. Did you know that? These teams.
I did not, but the stat I would reference would be the majority of the country lives on the East Coast. I mean, no disrespect to the West Coast, but you're making a majority of your folks that are watching these games suffer for one region of the country. That, to me, there's an issue here. There just is. These games just start too late at night. And so the other issue to me has been playing not only the basketball championship, but the football national championship on Monday night all the time.
It's ridiculous.
That's another issue. I just think these games are too late.
Are we the guys on the Muppets who are on the, like the balcony and they're just complaining about everything? Is that what we've become, John?
Well, we are today, obviously, with the Florida loss, but I honestly think the majority of the country, if there was a vote, would probably be with us as far as the starting these games earlier. I don't know many people that like the start time on these games and the fact that they go into the early mornings.
It's ridiculous.
Of the evening on the East Coast.
It's ridiculous. All right, before I let you go, do we have a Florida Gators spring game? Or are there spring games anymore in college football? I'm confused by this.
We do. John Summerall was a big advocate for that. Florida's new head coach in football. It will be at noon on April 11th. And he said it's going to look more like a real game, that he said these guys need to tackle. These guys need to learn how to run proper routes and score. And I've liked what I've heard out of University of Florida, and I don't know how good he'll be, but I just like the take. It's been refreshing from what we've been told the last 4 years, and then not seen any results on the field. So, but there will be a spring game 2 weeks from this upcoming Saturday, high noon. And the other reason I love this is it's not going to be on a Thursday night, which is something Coach Napier was doing for quote unquote recruiting, which I never got the logic of that either, by the way, Mark. So, but it's going to be more back to a normal spring game is what we've been told.
Should I go to the spring game?
I think you should. I think there's going to be a lot. First of all, it's a new administration, new coach, new staff. There's going to be a couple of new quarterbacks out there. Aaron Philo. Now, Tramell Jones was on the team last year, but Billy Napier would never put him in. He stuck with DJ Lagway through thick and thin. So I think those two reasons alone are good enough to go. And no football after April 11th until basically August. So I think for folks out there listening that, miss football during the off season, I think why not? It's a chance to go out there. It's at noon, which means to get your first look at John Summerall and what this might look like. Not that you can take a lot from a spring game, but still, I think it'd be a good event to go see.
All right, he sold me. John Frary, Sports Now. I'm sorry we lost last night. Better defense would have won that game. Great stuff. Have a great day, and I'll see you around, all right?
Mark, as always, thanks for having me, and everybody enjoy the spring and the beautiful weather.